To what happened on Sunday, the North London derby, a walk in the park, wasn't it, in the end, for Arsenal, beating Spurs by 4-1. Frank Leboeuf still with us, as is Dimitar, Berbatov. So we've talked about Manchester United, one of your teams losing. Let's talk about another former team, shall we, Dimitar?
He's a bit of a jinx, isn't he?
I know, I just blame him for everything. We've got Bayer Leverkusen coming up. How much was this Spurs being bad? How much was this Arsenal being great?
Not a good days for my former team, guys. No. Yes, you're right. Spurs were very bad. Not taking away the way Arsenal is playing, how they were entertaining at that particular day, the goals they score, Eze on the great form with a hat-trick. But Spurs, as always, that consistency in their performance is not there yet. You know, getting good results mixed with the bad results. And at one point, when you play your rival in that North London derby, where you need to be 100%, you are going a bit defensive approach in that game with 5 at the back, which is not aligned with Spurs' way of playing football. And when you have someone like Arsenal with their ability on the ball, they will find that space. They will find that pass. They will have a chance to score like they did. And unfortunately, again, on that particular day, Spurs were not in a good shape or form whatsoever through the whole game. Yeah, they scored a nice goal, but still, in the end, it was humiliating for everybody to watch.
Frank?
Yeah, I agree. I was just checking that Fulham won, so the good thing for Dimitar, you know, for the weekend. Good things. And I'm not sure about Monaco, but whatever.
All right, get on with your answer. Stop sucking up.
Yeah, I'm going to answer. Well, he said everything. Now, there is not much to say. You know, that was an humiliating defeat from Spurs because they didn't try anything. They didn't try. Well, maybe they couldn't. Maybe Arsenal were too strong for them. But I want to believe that Tottenham's and Thomas Frank, they are better than that. And we didn't see anything. Credits to the Gunners because they were absolutely fantastic. I mean, I really like Declan Rice, and every time I see him playing, I love the involvement that he put into the game defensively, but also what he brings offensively. And the first pass that he makes to Eze when he scored his goal. I mean, that guy is amazing. But he's the mirror of what I see from every players and the involvement that they have to win the games every weekend. So. That was amazing what I saw from Arsenal and really appalling from Spurs.
What's the big problem with Spurs? Obviously, they sacked Ange Postecoglou despite winning the European trophy. Thomas Frank came in, and he hasn't had the impact that I think people were hoping for, Dimitar.
Well, let's not jump to conclusion, right? Again, it's easy. And of course, the first one to be blamed is the manager, as always. You can easily change the one manager and not 22 players. But I mean, it's too early to judge. It's still very early days for Spurs with Frank in charge. He's going to hopefully find his footing, find the way to make Spurs play in the way that everybody wants them to play, which, of course, is more entertaining football. Like in the first months or weeks in Ange, when he stepped in charge, he was playing that attacking football. Everybody was admiring him. That, of course, after that, unfortunately, things didn't go well for him and the club. Now Frank is playing a bit more flexibility depending who he's playing on, sometimes more defensively, sometimes more direct. But still, it's early days. I would like to give him more time with the team because I think he's in the right place with his vision for the game. Of course, as he now knows, it's not going to be easy. Here is more exposure for him. Spurs is a big team. So he needs to get the result. But the only thing that I would like for them to get is the consistency, which means getting the right result, even if you don't play good.
And Dimitar, consistency obviously is what Arsenal have brought to the table so far this season. For many, they've already won the title. Do you agree with that?
No. Frank knows as well, you guys know as well, Premier League is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Now comes the Boxing Day, the Christmas fixtures, the games where you'll be tested. And if you get out of these fixtures in a good results and comes the new year, you're in a good position. If we speak about Arsenal, if they're still in the first place with good advantage on the points on the table, then they're halfway there. But let's, of course, not jump to the conclusion yet because Of course, City are dropping points. Liverpool, as I mentioned, low down in the table. But there are other teams, Chelsea, of course, Frank X team. They're teams that can surprise. And 6 points is a good, cushion to have. But in the Premier League, that's nothing.
Could be 9 points, of course, Frank, after next weekend.
So, yes, exactly. That could be 9 points, but that could be 3 points as well. If I become better than Shaka in math, and he could go very well. The only concern that I have, and I'm listening to Dimitar, is I say, okay, it's not crucial. 6 points is not crucial. Arsenal are not there yet, but who can beat them? If I look and watch every game that I saw, yeah, Manchester City maybe, but they lost against Newcastle. But otherwise, I don't see any consistency, which makes me think, okay, maybe that team can come back. Or Liverpool, and Stevie can witness that. I think we don't recognize them, and it's going to be an off season for them. But after that, I don't see who can really fight against Arsenal. And Dimitar is right, but right now, I don't see anybody being able to compete with them.
Great performance from Newcastle, of course, all the goals coming in that 6-minute spell. We spoke at length about this game at the weekend, so I don't want to really go over old ground, but I do want to bring up something that Frank Leboeuf said a few weeks ago during an argument we had. The question was, is Erling Haaland the best ever striker in the Premier League? And whose name did he bring up in that conversation? Our guest today, Dimitar Berbatov. So I suppose, Dimitar, you're the right person to ask. Who's better, you and your pomp or Haaland?
Oh, no, come on, guys. I think Haaland is a beast. Haaland is a level above me, for sure. But in the conversation of the best striker ever in the Premier League, the names you have there, Alan Shearer, Thierry Henry.
Thank you.
Harry Kane, players that
you were wrong, Frank.
But in his case, if he continues on that rate, he's going to be among the best for sure.
How much of a problem, though, is it, Dimitar, for City that it seems to be if he doesn't score, no one else does?
It can be a problem because then obviously you're going to have a bad day. You're going to miss the chances. You're not going to score 1 or 2 games. Then someone else needs to step up. But when you get used to your big star to score in every game, sometimes that can be a problem because then nobody's used to score goals, just your main striker. So that's something that I think Guardiola knows pretty well, and that's why they should find a solution for this. Either someone else will take the responsibility, or they should, continue to feed him with the balls to score. Like, for example, Harry Kane was for Spurs. Harry Kane was the main guy who was scoring goals season after season after season. And in that regard, they didn't have much problems. So maybe Haaland will be the same, scoring and scoring and scoring.
One last thing, Dimitar, I know you've got to go soon, but I just want to switch attentions quickly to Liverpool. Liverpool, of course, losing at home against Nottingham Forest. So many questions about where it's gone wrong so far for the defending champions this season. Obviously sitting in the bottom half of the table after that home defeat against Forest. Dimitar, I want to talk to you about Alexander Isak. If he rang you up and he said, look, what advice would you give me to get going at Liverpool, to get on the score sheet, what would you say to him?
Don't think about the price tag. Don't think about it. I know that he's probably thinking at it from time to time because that's a lot of money paid for one player. The transfer that was happening, happened in the manner that you don't want it to happen. And it reminds me a bit of myself back in the day where I wanted to go to United from Spurs. People were disappointed, people were angry, fans were angry. When you have a situation like this, it's going to affect you. Then when you go to the new team, of course, expectations are there. You put expectation on yourself. You know about the price tag, even if you don't admit it. Now you know that everybody's expecting from you to take the ball from your own half and pretty much bring it to the other half and score by yourself. But that's not the case. Of course, if your team is going through a difficult moments and games like Liverpool is right now, you're going to suffer. You're a striker. You're depending on the crosses, on the balls from the midfield, so you can score goals. He's in a difficult position. I can only give an advice in a short sentence: stay strong in the head. But here is the answer.
How difficult is it to do that, as you say, with the price tag, with the Anfield fans, with the fact they're defending champions and they're nowhere near Arsenal at the moment? Psychologically, that's got to be something that you really struggle with day to day.
Oh, I'm not gonna, give you a lie to you. It's very difficult, and it's gonna be very difficult. So my thinking will be, and it was when I was in this position, get good people around you.
Right.
People that will tell you the truth when you need to hear the truth. That will be honest with you. Of course, the teammates to be supportive. The manager needs to continue to believe in you. To know that you're gonna play, because the strikers, we are a different breed. We think that we are special, big egos. We want to feel special and to feel welcome.
Selfish.
So also, if you're a striker, you need to be so to score goals. And the manager is crucial here to be there and support him in that difficult moment that he is now. And of course, him as a player who wants to show that he is good enough. Again, stay strong in the head. It's not that easy, of course, and that's why good people around you are crucial.
And I suppose the problem with that, Stevie, is that with what's happening at Liverpool at the moment, we're in a situation where basically everybody's looking after themselves.
Well, I would suggest that, to begin with, everybody has to do that. The question you asked Dimitar there, I was thinking about Paul Mariner. He used to tell me all the time, whenever he went through a dry spell, a goal drought, the way he would forget about it is by every single day on his own with a goalie and somebody else and do finishing for half an hour. He'd do it every single day. So when he turned up, the only thing he had in his mind was what he'd spent the whole week doing, putting the ball in the back of the net.
Right.
Just a little thing to trick your mind into thinking you're actually scoring goals and you're not going 10 games or whatever it is without a goal. So that's what I was thinking about when you asked me that.
So is this just a case, Dimitar, he gets one, and it's like Van Nistelrooy used to say, didn't it? It's like ketchup out of a bottle. Then it will just keep coming and coming? Or is it such a psychological block at the moment that even if you get one, you won't necessarily add to that quickly because of the way Liverpool are playing?
Exactly. Both ways works. Sometimes you score one, and another will follow, and then you're in a great position. Then you score one, another dry spell will follow. It's different. It's different, but I agree completely that sometimes building the right habit of putting the ball in the back of the net. If that means in the practice, in the training ground, even if you don't have a goalkeeper, just a goal, someone crossed you the ball, just get in the habit of putting in the back of the net. Get that self-belief that even if a good ball is coming to you, you are confident and concentration enough to put it in the back of the net. And of course, the one goal is the start. That will give you the confidence back, because striker feeding on that confidence of scoring a goal. So when he scored that first goal, a big problem will resolve from itself. But then he needs to continue on that consistency of scoring a goal. Again, it's more easy said than done, of course, especially if your team is in a bad situation and don't play good football like Liverpool right now in this moment. It's going to be more difficult for him.
The reason I said you have to look after yourself first is because everybody who steps on the field has to do their job first.
Right.
It's one thing to talk about looking after your teammates and looking after this guy, and then we do that. But you need everybody to, first and foremost, do the job that you're put in the team to do. And then once everybody sorts themselves out, then you can pull it all together. But you need everybody to do their job first before they can help each other.
And then, of course, as a defender, you can play on that, surely, against a striker who's struggling.
Yes, of course. You can intimidate him. You can, say bad words to him. And but you know what? You always pay attention to a wooden beast, because if he wakes up, he's going to be terrible. So you better leave him on the side, and forget about him and just let him dealing with his issues. But it's true that you play on that, and when he misses an action, you say, wow, my God, you're not the player you used to be. You could say that. I never did, but you could say that. And but I heard people saying that. They say, oh, my God, the guy is not there. He's not there anymore. That's terrible. That's really terrible. But it can happen to defender as well. When you try one time, you tackle, it doesn't work. Another time, and a goal and a non-goal against you, and sometimes it goes and goes. yeah, it's difficult. And you feel sympathy, you know, for Isaac, like for all the guys who have a dry spell, because you say, oh my God, because we know they eat that, they need that to stop being starved, and that's what it is. And I really hope that Isaac's gonna try to find the net very soon, and he's gonna be better.
Dimitar, I want one last question before I let you go. Tottenham Hotspur, Manchester United, Liverpool. What order do they finish at the end of the season?
Nice, easy one.
Oh, you're provoking me here.
No, never.
Oh, you've met Dan before. He's met you before.
ESPN FC.
Of course, I'm biased here. Of course, I'm gonna say Liverpool should finish behind Tottenham and
Yes.
United. You know.
Yep.
Hopefully, Spurs.
Oh, you don't have
and-
to.
and-
Shut up, Frank.
well, hopefully Spurs and United will get their act together. And as I said, the difference between the point between the fourth and the third even is not that big right now. So that's the only thing that is good from this day, if you can take something. But the consistency, that factor goes for both teams, for Spurs and for United, in my opinion. If they don't find that, they're going to suffer again this season.
Did you answer my question then?
Yes, Liverpool behind Spurs and United for sure.
Oh, yeah, so thank you very much.
Not bad
Much
at all.
appreciated. Be welcome back.